Ever since I can remember, music has been an integral part of my life. I was born in Chicago and into a family of music lovers. My dad was a rock and roller, turning my brother and me onto classic rock like the Beatles, CCR, Doors, the Monkees, Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones, as well as introducing us to visual artists like Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, René Magritte, and Bruce Lee movies. My mom loved Julio Iglesias and filled our home with the melodramatic stylings of other balladeros such as José José, Juan Gabriel, Napoleon, and more. My brother and best friend Jorge became my cultural soundboard. We shared music, films, weird local TV shows, and absorbed the zeitgeist of the times, the mid-'80s. In other words, we became obsessed with art and culture of all types. Whether it was by design or accident, we became the coolest kids on the block. If you wanted to see or hear something you never heard before, you had to come over to the Ledesmas. Flash forward to 1987, and the Ledesmas relocated to the northwest suburbs of Wheeling, Illinois, miles away from the low rumble of the city. Being in Chicano in the suburbs was a hard adjustment, but in a short span of a year and a half, I landed a part-time job at one of the two cool record stores in town called Hip Cat Records. And I discovered punk rock and became friends with an up-and-coming band called Toe Jam, who would later morph into Cap'n Jazz, and I learned how to play drums on my own, which inspired me to start my own bands. Eventually, I moved back to Chicago in my early 20s. While I was making the scene by going to shows and connecting with other musicians along the way, I managed to record and perform with groups such as V Reverse, The Vindictives, Mid-States, Defender, and many others. I also spent 20 plus years working in the food industry, from slinging seafood for a major Fortune 500 company to working at a female-owned catering company. From bankers to rock stars, I fed and connected with wide spectrums of humanity, and I learned how to cook. Today, I continue to play drums with groups such as Aya, Geezer Sr., The Arthur Lane, and Infotapes. I've also tapped into my eclectic and esoteric musical knowledge and my love of the conversation by hosting the Ghost and Worm Show with Adam Scott for Wholesome Radio, and co-host and founder of Let's Make a Show with Brian and Angel on YouTube. This is my life, connecting with family and friends through music for the past 30 years. I'm Angel Ledesma, and this is As We Go Along.